go with 93C. We are starting in the middle of 93C, which is where 93A runs into it. 93A, I didn't really add it to this set here. It's a very easy gravel road. 93C, when you hit it, we're going to turn left and go east to the east end. And then later, if you want to see the west end, we're going to come back to the same spot and turn and go the other way. So we're going to do the entirety of the trail, but this is only the eastern half. This is a little bit different than how I do most of my videos. This is not the adventure video. I've already filmed, edited, done that video where it's, you know, sped up in places, cut with some music and all that. This is all the footage I have of 93C. Now you'll notice in here I'm gonna change camera angles multiple times. So everything I filmed from one perspective is on here. So in some places I'll cut out like camera 2, camera 3, I'll just turn them off. Even though I have footage, I just rolled the one I thought looked the best. So this gives me a chance to show you an unedited view of what these trails look like. And you know, there's a couple gaps where I didn't have some footage and I stopped recording. Matter of fact, I'm at one right now. I didn't record that section. I believe I was swapping batteries or swapping cameras one. But that'll happen sometimes. Sometimes I have 3 cameras recording the same thing and I just only show one of them. And I'll even do a little picture-in-picture. Fun thing to do here, you can watch this, study the terrain, see if you want to ride it, compare how my Jeep does it. And also, you know, trying something different here gives me a chance to learn new editing tricks, as I am purely doing this as a hobby and untrained of how to edit videos and how to even film stuff. So trying something different like this gives me new editing techniques. And I can go and tell you, I'm actually doing a voiceover after I've edited 7 or 8 videos, and I have gotten way better. By the time you get to 93F and 93C West, I'm way better editing this stuff than I'm doing right now. But either way, this is what we got. So enjoy this one. This was a fairly easy trail. It was dry, it was rocky, and I don't believe we got stuck a single time. If it had been wet, that'd be another story, because this is some very steep climbs here. But with it being dry, there was no issues. As for how my Jeep is built, this is a JL Wrangler. It's a Sport S. So I have an open Dana 30 in the front, and I have a rear track lock Dana 44. Which is not an e-locker. It is like a limited slip, more or less. So I do have essentially 3 wheels pulling most of the time. Long as I don't get one wheel stuck up in the air, then the limited slip will unlock and basically give me an open differential. But also I think with these Jeeps, they have some kind of brake locking differential feature in them. So even with them being open, they still will lock the tires down even when they're open, but not like an e-locker. So I have a 3.6 stock engine, 3.5-inch lift in the front, 4.5-inch lift in the rear with metal cloak with the arms, drop brackets in the front, no drop brackets in the rear. I have the skid plates to protect things, which on the next trail I will definitely use the skid plates. I have 35-inch tires, anti-rock sway bars. All of that gives me really good traction. Also, I believe I'm aired down to the low teens for tire pressure. I showed 10, 11 on some tires, and I showed like 13, 14 on some of them. So that's how low I'm aired down. You can see, I mean, at this point, guys, an F-150 made it this far on the trail. And obviously, he couldn't make it no farther. So yeah, here you go. Enjoy this video. I've yapped on for 2 or 3 minutes already. So yeah, enjoy this. 93C, starting from 93E and going east all the way to the end. This right here marks the end of 93C and the beginning of 93D. If you want to go watch 93D, there's a whole nother video. Go click on it, go watch it. You can also go back and watch the adventure video from Beasley's Knob, where I do the full-blown adventure type with music synced, and I don't show all the trail. So whatever you like, go back and click it. It's right here on the screen. That's it, 1870 Off-Road.